Okay, so the new trailer for Jurassic World Dominion, like the actual trailer, not the prologue, which is still really cool. I'm not sure if it's actually gonna be in the movie. They show a brief part of it in the trailer, so I'm going to assume maybe. But the actual trailer's out, um, and hopefully, if the title goes away, like possibly from the title depends if I change it and stuff like that. You'll probably know what my feelings are. Although I don't know, I might just tell it like nostalgia bit or like the real deal or like if it's actually good. Because I'm still cautiously optimistic. So the trailer's gone out. It's nearly 3 minutes long, which did worry me a little bit, although it doesn't feel like it's showing everything. It feels kind of like Spider-Man No Way Home, where there's still quite a few things that are surprising. Not as many, because generally I do wish this trailer was like probably like 40 seconds shorter or something like that. Because some stuff maybe, I didn't need to see, and that would have been cool in the theaters, like the whole Quetzalcoatlus, or the fucking, I don't know what it is called, the large flying dinosaur. Maybe that is what's called Quetzalcoatlus. Fuck, I don't know how to pronounce it. Used to be kind of a dino nerd, but still. Point is that on the plane, which does remind me of Monster in the movie in the best way possible, because the idea for the scene was cool. Although I could predict it when seeing in the trailer for that movie, like, how was going to happen. But for this, I'm not really sure. But I maybe they shouldn't have shown that as much, but still, I am cautiously optimistic because it's very cool. I didn't like the previous two. I didn't even really like the last one, Jurassic Part 3 too much. Like, I enjoyed them to an extent. Because The Lost World has some shit that don't make no sense. Like, it just doesn't. Which is kind of unfortunate. But I guess it's kind of hard to follow up the first one with such a good sequel. But at the same time, this movie looks cool. It's not just because of all the cool dinosaurs that are in it, which honestly, there's a lot that look really cool. And that whole Atrociraptor scene where you see like the dude Owen going through all the kind of sort of the chaos. I feel like that's gonna be part of the beginning of the movie or close to it. I feel like this can be in the initial scene, maybe. I don't know, because I feel like that's because I don't know why there'd be such a big group of people after the dinosaurs have actually taken over. Like, why are you doing that? That just doesn't make any sense. I feel like that's gonna be close to the beginning. Um, on that scene, also they're seeing is really cool. I'm going to assume since they talk about Blue and she is an infant, I'm actually a little bit confused about how Blue has an infant though, because like I thought she was like the only one of her kind. I get that they could change gender, but I thought they weren't asexual. I thought they could just change gender to be in that if they were in a single sex environment, they could change at least one of them to breed. I don't know. Maybe it'll be explained, but it still looks really cool. Um, it's just kind of bizarre because like, oh yeah, I guess I'll get back to the prediction. I feel like probably maybe close to halfway, or at least like I feel like the whole reason for this whole adventure starting might be Blue getting captured, because you do see part of it in the trailer where they're like out in the snow with some of them, like helping save the dinosaurs. Because I guess the series flip flops when they're good or bad, which was the problem I had with Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But hopefully in this one, they act more like animals, maybe just a little bit monstrous. They could just the suspend disbelief a bit. I can, but if it's all the time, it's gonna be a bit annoying. But I still am cautiously optimistic. But I feel like that's probably gonna set the chain of events off, like taken by Biosyn, who I believe is going to play a part in this with Louis Dodgson, who hasn't been in any movies besides the first one. And if this is a true conclusion, he did play a pretty big role in the sequel book, so I feel like it'd be really fucking dumb for them not to put him in there. Like, not even just as a cameo, like straight, not like as an actual villain that just wouldn't make sense. And Biosyn is a company I don't think the movies have talked about. Maybe part of the lore, maybe, but still. I feel like that's going to set the whole chain of events off, and if that still happens, that's still kind of broad, so it won't be super duper predictable and would make sense. Like, that's good storytelling. And I heard from Colin Trevorrow, not like himself, but like I've seen on some tweets, that's not exactly like a normal movie where you have Sam Neill, well, I guess I'll just say their characters' names, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler and Ian Malcolm, just going on their journey along with the other characters from the previous movies, going along on their own journey, and they eventually converge. It's not gonna be like a traditional movie, which I guess was also kind of similar with Spider-Man No Way Home, which I'll talk about briefly in relation to this, because like I wasn't exactly, because that movie didn't exactly seem predictable in the way it was done. Because like towards the hour mark where everything was starting to work, I was actually confused on what was going to happen. I knew something had to fail in order for the movie to keep going, but I just wasn't sure. So I think they did it well. I don't know. I guess it just reminds me of that. And again, this whole movie reminds the trailer because it's just so bizarre seeing all these characters from the older movies. It's like Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm hoping it's like Spider-Man No Way Home in terms of quality, and that like one or two of the newer characters or the older characters is not gonna be super duper well developed, and there might be one or two small things that don't make sense, but overall it's a really good movie that's great to see in theaters and great to see even in TV, even if it's like on shitty quality, like a terrible TV, it'll still be fun to watch because it's just a good movie. If this is somehow better than the first one, which is still possible because that movie isn't perfect, that'd be great. But I'm not setting my expectations up too high, but I don't want them to be too low because I feel like these movies can still be good. They explore interesting ideas, but they never really fully develop them. So I'm hoping they at least continue the themes and actually develop them. That'd be nice. And also the beginning of part of the trailer with Blue and her infant with Hammond talking felt like something out of a fan film trailer. You know, like all those trailers for like Jurassic Park 4 back in the day, like those parodies when everyone was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Like that, like in the best way, because it feels like an actual continuation, something that a fan would do. And I hope this movie isn't just like a bunch of fan service, because I feel like there's plenty of fans that wouldn't just do that for fan service. I hope, because well, Spider-Man No Way Home did have fan service and like nostalgia. It wasn't just nostalgia bait, it was like actually service to the plot, and the whole plot didn't just revolve around nostalgia, but kind of to an extent, because it brought back the older villains as the whole plot, but still, it still actually had an interesting story to tell, not an amazing one, but a really good one. I feel like it actually might be a lot like Spider-Man No Way Home, with the characters eventually converging later into the movie, just like with Spider-Man No Way Home, around like 90 minutes into like a 2 hour and 10-minute movie, or 20 minutes without the credits. So like, you know, with less than an hour left, but still enough to develop their characters and have interactions, because I really want to see how Owen Grady and Alan Grant just kind of talk to each other, like their differing views, especially on Raptors, because I don't think Alan Grant has a great opinion on them. Same thing with Ellie Sattler as well. I do like the carrot dinosaur, or no, Giganosaurus, but it does kind of look a bit monstrous. That was like kind of one of the problems I had with the prologue, also being that it wasn't really accurate. They weren't around the same time, around 70 million years ago, so that was a bit weird. Still very cool, I will admit. This whole thing just feels cool, and I'll get back to the whole fan film thing like right now because it didn't fully develop that. It feels like a fan film in the best way, because like a true continuation. And I do hope it's a true continuation, bringing back most of the characters, actually giving them something to do. And yeah, the trailer overall is pretty cool. The special effects look really good, especially for a trailer, because usually the effects don't look as good. But in this stuff, it looks good. Like the feathers look good, just like how with the Incredibles too. Like the t-shirts and stuff like that look really realistic. Like the feathers here look really cool and all that stuff. And again, it's just so bizarre seeing all these characters together. It's just a really cool trailer. It's well done. It's long for a trailer, I guess, kind of. Although there's plenty of shows that are pretty long, but still looks really cool. There's the Dilophosaurus fucking finally, because they teased the hell out of it in Jurassic World. Kind of. I mean, they still had like a hologram, but that wasn't really enough. They had a Lego set involving it, so that just felt like a bit of teasing. And then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, that actually felt like teasing, because they showed like a toy stuffed version of it instead of an actual one, so that was kind of lame. So yeah, but I just hope that this movie ends up being like just the quality of Spider-Man No Way Home, and like it with bringing back the characters, actually giving them something to do. And I just hope this movie's good. Like, I feel like it's going to be good. I just hope I'm not disappointed. And I'm not saying my expectations too high. It's similar to Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, I usually go with the same expectations for every movie, like have developed characters and all this stuff. But, I mean, I hope they give the characters something to do in the sequel, not just a bunch of nostalgia bait. But I feel like they might not do it. I don't know. But then again, the previous two movies looked really epic, but they had cool scenes, but characters weren't really that good. But who knows? Maybe they've actually learned most of, if not all, the criticisms. Probably not all the criticisms, because some of them were invalid and don't make sense for some of the films. I will give them that. Like, they're actually a little bit better than some people think. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. I was gonna have a Hotel Transylvania Transformia review, but at this point, it's fucking copyright claim. No, like copyright, like blocked worldwide. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the trailer for the movie, same as me, or maybe even more. But yeah, we enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.